Hello and welcome. I'm Maria McMahon and I wanted to make a series of videos based on my book, The Top 50 Red Flags of Romantic Predators, How to Avoid the Narcissist Trap. Now that's a lot of red flags to get through, so I'm going to be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Thursday until I've got them all done. I'm actually aiming to keep them all quite short, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So it won't take long for you to just learn the basics about these different red flags, which are just so vital to help you protect yourself from those romantic predatory narcissists that are out there, okay? So do come and join me regularly and let me share all these red flags with you. Thank you very much for joining me. So let's get started with today's video. Hello and welcome back. If you've seen some of my earlier videos in the series of the top 50 red flags of romantic predators, and today I'm going to be talking about red flag number 13, which is narcissists have an explanation for everything. Now, generally narcissists are quite quick thinkers, but more often than not it's because they will already have planned and thought through their spontaneous arrivals, and any questions to any answers to any questions that you might have, they'll already have thought through their answers and they'll be ready for you with an answer whenever they run into you, which they will have planned. So let's say, for example, that you happen to be walking up the street as you're leaving work, and suddenly you spot them. And they're like, oh wow, what a coincidence, how nice to see you. And they'll give you a big smile. Oh, I was just on my way to X, Y, wherever. What are you doing here? So of course you innocently say, oh, I work just up the road here. And they feign surprise. But they're lying because they've already researched you and they know exactly where you work and where you hang out. Let's say they turn up at a bar that you frequent, and again they feign surprise and delight to see you there. They might say, oh wow, I've been here so many times, I can't believe I didn't notice you before. And they say this with total conviction, but they have noticed you, and all along they were planning their strategy. Or possibly, it's the first time they've actually been in this place, but they're only there because they know that you'll be there. And they'll come out with all kinds of different stories. They might tell you that they've noticed you in this place many times and, couldn't stop thinking about you and loved you from afar from the first time they saw you. They say this stuff. It sounds ridiculous when I'm saying it, but it happens. I've heard all this sort of stuff from, the women I've worked with and the people in my group. So they might say they've been trying to work up this courage to talk to you for ages. And just this type of talk is a red flag, waving in the wind. If you hear this type of talk from them, ask yourself, well, why would it take them so long to come, to get up the courage to come and approach me? And this is particularly applicable if, they're really good looking and they're confident. Why wouldn't they just walk up and introduce themselves or get chatting to you? The vulnerable narcissist might get away with this because it would be in keeping with the vulnerable narcissistic person's character. But, you've just got to be suspicious. You've got to be suspicious all the time. And I know that's not very pleasant and goes against your nature, but it will save you a lot of pain in the long run if you just keep asking these questions, keep trusting your intuition, keep tuning in. What you'll also notice, in those early dates, as time goes on, you'll realize that narcissists always have an explanation for everything. Now, they also have a way with words, and it's often called word salading or word weaving. And cerebral narcissists especially can run verbal rings around anyone, and they apply this kind of bizarre technique of circular logic and argumentative reasoning that would baffle the greatest scientific minds in the world today, you find yourself like going round and round and round thinking, what are they talking about? Now, if you get deeply entrenched in a relationship with this person, and this is partly where gaslighting comes in as well, although I think gaslighting has a broader scope, and I do talk about it in a much later flag. They'll swear that black is white, day is night, dogs are cats, and they'll twist your reality into something that you just don't recognize anymore. But what's so much worse than that is that they will twist you into someone you don't recognize anymore. And that is really where the tragedy of narcissistic abuse is, that dreadful erosion of a person's sense of self-worth and value. And it's just so sad and tragic, and it makes me angry at the same time. So another thing, just briefly before I wrap this one up, is if the person turns up at your work, let's say unexpectedly, just ask yourself, is this really a coincidence or did they plan it? Just keep the open mind to it. Don't let on that you're suspicious, but just keep your mind open to the possibility, and remember that you're always looking to add up red flags to determine whether this person is a narcissist or not. You know, if they keep turning up at bars, restaurants, they keep trying to push your boundaries, just keep your mind open to the possibility. This situation could be you being potentially groomed by a narcissistic romantic predator. So be suspicious. If you're wrong, you won't have lost anything. And I hope that you are, and whoever you meet is a gorgeous guy or a gorgeous woman, great. But until you know for sure and you've ruled out all of these flags, keep the suspicious narc radar, you know, on full alert. And ask yourself, how many red flags have you filed by now with this person that you've been on maybe a few dates with? If it's more than 3, call a halt to this relationship. Just call a halt to it, end it. Under no circumstances carry on seeing this person, because if you do, you are going to regret it more than I can even begin to explain in this or any other video. Okay, so please, 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 please familiarize yourself with all these flags and do not get drawn in. So that's that for today. Thank you for watching again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. I have still got a ton more to get through, and I'll be posting Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So make sure you subscribe and click the notifications, do whatever it takes so that you don't miss these videos. Thank you very much. My name is Maria McMahon. I will put my links below the video so that you know who I am. If you should need to or want to connect with me, contact me. I would be delighted to hear from you. So thank you very much indeed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.